the best. I want to be the best, simple and plain. That's why I play the game. And to be the best, you have to win. And that's what drives me.
He's the best player in the game. It's just that simple. There's nothing that Kobe Bryant can't do. He will defend your best player. He will shoot from the perimeter. He will get all in your mug. He will do whatever it takes. He is the most complete basketball player in the game today, bar none. He has an assassin's mentality. I said this when the trade went down, and I'll repeat it again. Who's starving more for an NBA World Championship more than Kobe Bryant? There is no one. This guy is highly motivated.
What separates Kobe from the pack?
More than Kobe Bryant. There is no one.
Okay, Kobe doing work. 2-4 on my shirt. He the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse. Going for the fourth ring like it was his first. Gotta get the gleam. Do it for Kareem. 2-4 so nice, my flow so mean. Catch me at the game, sitting next to Goldstein. Kobe Bryant Nikes, purple gold strings. Kobe in the game, don't get
Welcome to the Balls on Court podcast. This is Cortez Paul. You got Kevin Carter over Skype. Yesterday was just a sad day and an unfortunate day of events that occurred. And to come to find out the unfortunate news of Kobe Bryant passing in a helicopter accident in California. Just not him, but 8 other lives were taken away, including his daughter and his daughter teammate and family. And identified pilot and handlers that was on the flight. And it's sad to report. And as you have already read, that Kobe Bryant has passed. So before we get into it, I want to start off with this. And I got Kevin joining me as usual. And this is something that 10 years from now, and I'm pretty sure whenever you run somebody, this question is going to be asked. So I want to ask this question the first time to Kevin Carter. Where were you when you heard about this Kobe Bryant unfortunate news?
I'm sitting on the couch at my mom's house because we got Austin this weekend. Or we had Austin this past weekend. And I'm sitting on the couch and we're just watching TV. He's playing Overwatch. He's telling me to watch him play video games. Mm-hmm. We're sitting there. My phone is away from me and is on like the shelf where my mom and them's TV is. And all of a sudden, we're not watching nothing that you would hear news on or anything about it on TV. We're watching, I think it was Westerns or something, whatever you watch when you go to my mom's house. And all of a sudden, my phone just starts vibrating. Because you know me, I don't have mine on any ringtone or anything because I hate them.
Right.
And they sound the same, so I don't know whose phone's ringing. So mine's sitting on there, and it just starts vibrating. And I'm like, crazy vibrating. Like, I've never heard it before. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? My phone's going nuts. So I pick it up. And actually, the first person that messaged me about Kobe dying was Crystal. Mm. I'm like, oh, my God. I said, no, I haven't heard anything yet. So immediately I went to Twitter. And then, because that's where you go to get news nowadays. Yeah. Nowhere else but there.
Yeah.
And then I saw the bad news, and then you saw all the bad reports coming out that all the kids were on it, and then it was just bad. But then we turned on the news, and the whole family sat there and watched, because even though people in my house don't follow basketball and all this stuff, everybody knows who Kobe Bryant is. Mm-hmm. So we were all sitting there watching the news, and it hit a lot of us, and then especially being a parent and everything like that, with it coming down that his daughter was on the plane, mm-hmm. and then that her teammate was on the plane, and her mom and dad were there. Everything just kind of hit you all at once. That it just wasn't about Kobe; it was about everybody that was on the plane or on the helicopter as well. And it's just a horrible tragedy that not only was his life taken too short, but all these kids and everybody else that was on the helicopter as well, their lives were taken way too early as well.
Mm. So I'm sitting here and on the couch, and Usually I just kind of wake up. Last I work an overnight schedule, and I get my phone and I start looking, just on Twitter. And, and one of my buddies was saying, tell me this Kobe dying thing is not true. I said, wait a minute. I said, what are you talking about? He was like, TMZ reported that he got in a helicopter crash. I said, I ain't believing that because y'all know everybody like to pull off, these celebrity hoax and think that they're died. I said, there's no way. There's no way. I said, and then it started picking up steam. Like people started, I'm like, Kobe died. I said, God, there's no way. I said, I'm waiting till a major media outlet confirm this. I don't want to believe it. I said, it's just, there's so much going on that you can get tricked with this and don't believe the news that pops out. And then it hit the woe bomb that I did not want to get. Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted out saying that it is confirmed that Kobe Bryant was in that helicopter. He usually take that. He's been taking that for the past 4 or 5 years. Just get around the city, to get to the games and take his kids to her games and everything like that. But to hear and saw that confirmed, and then it just went. I'm just like, it's one of those things where you become numb because you've seen this guy, and he was in your household. No matter if you liked him or not, you know who Kobe
and you
was.
saw him. And the thing was, you saw him just Saturday.
Yeah.
You saw him just Saturday with the LeBron thing and LeBron passing him on the scoring list, and you're like, it's a complete and total, just it's a gut punch. Even if you didn't care for the dude and everything, you knew him. It's like me and somebody said this morning. It's like it felt like a member of your family, like a cousin or somebody like that was just taken from you.
Right.
And that's what it felt like because he grew up in the spotlight, basically. He got drafted when he was 17 years old. He grew up in all of our houses, like you said. He grew up in all of our households. This is what you knew. Everybody knew who Kobe Bryant was, and it was a worldwide, just a phenomenon that Kobe was, and then his death has impacted just so many lives.
So I was going to mention as well, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I can't believe it. And my dad, who is a big Lakers fan, big Kobe and Shaq fan, calls me in disbelief and almost tears. He's like, Cortez, please tell me it's not true. Cortez, please tell me it's not true. And I'm like, Father, I said, Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted it, and it's being confirmed that was Kobe in that helicopter. And you can instantly hear his demeanor went down. He started sniffling a little bit like he had tears. And this is a guy that he grew up watching. This was my rival growing up with my dad. The Lakers, and my brother liked the Lakers. And we had the 2009 Finals. Me and him going back at it. So this is big for him. He goes to. I took him to a Laker game earlier in when he was playing, and just on the downside of his career, and my dad's just got such an attachment to Kobe, and it hurt him. And my brother hasn't talked to me, and I know he's hurting right now because he's a big Kobe guy. But so I dealt with this growing up, this big Kobe and Shaq phenomenon, especially Kobe, in the household, and to see that this guy, this greater than athlete is gone. And it's just bizarre. Kevin, I want to also ask you, as we're going to dig in deep to this here. Tell me some of the things that, when you watch Kobe, even as a rival, what were some of the traits that you admired about Kobe watching him growing up?
And here's the funny thing. Me and him are so close to age. Yeah. That me and him, I grew up watching basketball while he was playing basketball. And then once he got into the NBA, me and him, I'm a year older than he is. And it's like watching a guy and you're like, this dude is my age and he can do this insane, crazy stuff. But for this generation of basketball, or for your generation of basketball fans, he was the Michael Jordan of this generation.
Yeah.
He was the personification of Michael Jordan for a generation of basketball fans. We had Mike. You guys had Kobe. And to watch the similarities of those two guys, their work ethic, their mentality on the basketball court, watching them grow up actually as people. Because we know all about, and this ain't about all the other crap that you want to say about Kobe and stuff. You can leave it for another show. You can not talk to me about it because I don't care nothing about all that madness.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Kobe grow up as a person. He grew up as a father, and he grew up as a husband. And that's the main things that people need to take away from this. Not just his basketball acumen, but that we watched this man grow as a dad, grow as a husband, and just grow as a person that done amazing things for a bunch of people. Just look at where he was going yesterday. He was going to a basketball tournament at his facility where there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that were going to be playing basketball in this tournament because of Kobe. That's the impact that he made on the game of basketball and that he made as a person. And we need to remember that this dude grew as a person and a husband and a father, as well as not just making us fall in love with him on the basketball court.
Yes.
But as far as the basketball court goes, it was just his drive. Like I said, he was Jordan-esque.
Mm-hmm.
He worked harder. He worked just as hard, if not harder, than anybody else that was on the basketball court. Sure, he was a little standoffish at times on the basketball court, but when you're that good, you have an ego, especially on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what he was showing. But as a person, man, I really can't go into saying bad things, especially recently after watching him grow up and him leaving the game and you viewing him from afar with his kids and stuff. It was like watching one of your friends grow up.
Yeah. Kobe growing up, like I said, there's been many statements I made that he's a rival, and I what I did was I admit that I was a little envious of what this guy possessed. He had the drive, he had the killer instinct. One of the clutchest players that I grew up seeing, as Kevin has
But
stated.
you hate him.
Yes, I hate him as a player because I know how good he was. I know how talented this guy was. And it's one of those things where I'm watching from a small market. Like, man, if I can have a guy just like that on my team, but he always pushed himself. He did things his way. He did not want to be your friend on the court. That wasn't Kobe. Mm-hmm. Kobe wanted to assassinate you. He had that killer mindset. And that's the one thing I think that a lot of players today don't take away from Kobe Bryant is that at the end of the day, he's not here to shake your hand and be buddy. Now, off the court, yeah, he'll have a conversation with you and probably have a drink and have a laugh. And, this guy was, personality off the court. He rapped. He dated Brandy. He had a personality off the court, but on the court, he wanted to, dominate you. And so
he was a assassin.
Exactly.
He was an assassin. He was a killer. He was what his mantra was. He was a black mamba.
Yeah, and
he would fight you and hit you in all areas and try to kill you.
Yeah,
on the court. That is what he done.
So watching him as a player, I know what he possessed and the talent that he had. But I came to like Kobe more off the court because now you got to see him more as a person, not the athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And all the things that Kevin mentioned, he done for the community. He done outreach, and he was very vocal about the game and trying to help young players. I saw so many players that reached out and said, well, Kobe, talked to me, and I had his number. And that's the thing that, you're like, man, Kobe is actually a nice human being after all. And it made it easy. I started just listening to Kobe, like even the detail series that he had on ESPN Plus. He's a student in the game. He got a clip where he talked to his daughter Gigi, breaking down clips, and she's right there with him. And he looked impressed, like, yeah, that's your DNA, Kobe. Like, she was all about the game. So I started to admire Kobe out of the court for the things that he done. Made the Mamba Academy, and he invited a few of the Magic players to go there and attend.